Ex-fiancee demanded I give her my home and move back in with my parents because she can't get along with her mom. This will be a bit lengthy, so I apologize in advance. I just need to get it out there because I can't talk to anyone in my life about it without them turning on my ex, which I don't want. I'll put a TLDR at the bottom. Some background. My ex-fiancée and I were together for a total of 12 years and we have a 5-year-old daughter together. About 4 or 5 years ago, I bought a small home with her. She doesn't work, so I paid 100% of the bills, debts, etc. When I bought the place, I was still rebuilding my credit due to being out of work prior to that, and I had to move quickly because my previous landlord defaulted on the building I was living in and all the tenants got notified the new owner wanted the place vacated. Ended up buying a mobile/modular home in a pretty quiet little area. I lived in a mobile home as a kid and I hated it, still do now, but it's what I've got and I have it completely paid off. I have a degree and work a good job with decent pay, but it's tough to make ends meet on a single income these days. My ex cheated on me a few times and left me for another guy. I allowed her to continue living in the house with me for a while until she could find other living arrangements and I slept on the couch. Eventually she moved in with her mom. Now that my credit is in great shape and I'm moving to a new project at work with a very sizable pay increase, I'm looking for an actual house to buy. Unfortunately, the housing market is really tough right now and anything within my price range gets snapped up immediately, often over the asking price. The plan is, and has been since she moved out, that once I find another place to live, I'm going to straight up give her this place I'm in now, sign the title over to her and everything. It's by far her cheapest option to live on her own. I've been telling her all along, she needs some form of stable income, because while I will continue helping out financially, I won't be able to pay all the bills on 2 separate homes. She agreed. She and her mom do not get along well. Her mom is pretty religious and very conservative and she isn't. I've repeatedly urged them not to discuss politics and things like that. This morning, apparently they got into an argument about that stuff and my ex called her mom a very obscene name in front of our daughter. Then she called me and started demanding I move back in with my parents. I'm 38 years old, so she and my daughter can move into my house while I continue paying all the bills. In all the time we've been together, and even still, I almost never say no to her. She calls me asking for money for food, gas, clothes for our daughter, etc., and I give it to her no questions asked. If she needs help with pretty much anything, I help her. I always make her problems my problems for our daughter's sake. My ex has some diagnosed mental health issues, diagnosed with bipolar 1 and BPD separately, she struggles with and has a really hard time controlling herself when she gets upset. I told her I was not going to give up pretty much the only thing I had, my home, just because she can't control herself and not escalate disagreements into a screaming match. She immediately started screaming at me, swearing at me, telling me I didn't care about our daughter, etc., and even brought up our breakup, which she blamed 100% all on me. I did not engage in the hostility and just ignored it. I told her the best I could do was give her some money to get a hotel room for the night and cool off and that I would pause house hunting and look for an apartment to rent. I told her she needed to find some way to make peace with her mom in the meantime and start looking for a way to get some stable income. She's got a hearing for her disability case, for her mental health issues, on the 20th, but who knows how that'll go. My house is small and not great, but it's my sanctuary. Coming home to a quiet house and relaxing after work is literally all I have that allows me to sort of recharge my batteries and de-stress enough to face the following day. I'm essentially a shell of a man at this point. I'm under a lot of stress between work and dealing with my ex, and my anxiety has been through the roof. I feel it spike every time my phone rings, even more when I see it's my ex calling. All I want is some peace and quiet so that I can focus on my own healing and move on with my life. I feel like I'm stuck in limbo, hiding out and hoping for a night here and there where everyone just leaves me alone. I joined some dating apps to see if I was even still capable of meeting someone new, but can't even bring myself to respond to them when they message me. I probably have too many trust issues and too much baggage with the living situation right now anyway. I'm just tired of everything turning into a crisis and then having that crisis land squarely in my lap to fix. I work hard, bend over backwards to help out and get them everything they want/need, and I don't bother anyone. I don't even buy things for myself that I want anymore. I pay my bills and hoard the rest in case I need to send some to my ex to get our daughter some clothes or shoes or groceries. On average, I spend less than $100 a month on myself for non-essentials. I'm nowhere close to perfect, but I've had pretty much endless patience over the years, constantly criticized/put down, verbally attacked, cheated on, and ultimately dumped for a guy she just met. By the end of our relationship, I was already empty inside, so yeah, I can see how she might think I wasn't there emotionally, but I was always patient, kind, and provided for both her and my daughter. I'm absolutely in shock that she thinks I don't care about our daughter because I won't give in to her demands to just hand her my home without anywhere to go. Even if I did want to move back in with my parents, they're smokers and my daughter can't stay with me there on the weekends. She essentially demands that I give up what little bit I have left to salvage my own mental well-being because she can't control herself and decide to simply not respond to touchy subjects between them. My daughter is my world and I'm truly conflicted about this. I don't want her witnessing my ex screaming obscenities at her mother. I just feel like I have to draw the line somewhere. Maybe it's my own fault for walking on eggshells for so long and bending over backwards to give her everything she asked for. The one time I stand my ground, I'm treated like the most selfish man alive and have to listen to her screaming insults at me on the phone while I'm at work. Am I really being that selfish here? She pushed back on my offer to get her a hotel room for the night so she could get a break from her mom, but I was eventually able to calm her down for now by suggesting I'd call off my desire to be an actual homeowner so that I can more quickly just find a place to rent and move into, provided she gets some source of steady income to pay for her utilities and groceries. I think I need to get myself into therapy. At this point, I'm tired of bending over backwards all the time, sacrificing my dignity, self-worth, and happiness, only to get treated like a monster the first time I say no. I want some peace. I've never minded helping out as much as possible and did not want to get lawyers involved because I truly wanted to help whenever it was needed rather than giving a flat amount every month, but I feel like my own humanity is being taken for granted with demands like this. Maybe it's time to set up something official so I can stop taking calls from her 4 to 5 times a day, just send out a flat amount every month, and finally just be left alone. If you read this far, I appreciate it. I'm just worn out and empty inside. I'm even ignoring my own friends because I just want to be left alone. Thankfully they're understanding of my situation without me giving specifics and are giving me space. I genuinely don't think my ex is a bad person, but her bipolar disorder can be very challenging to deal with. I just hope my severe anxiety and my desire to be completely alone goes away once I get into a better place.